starting off strong with this delicate visual from the Eras tour. This is something that I've been thinking about a lot since I started investigating these parallels between TPD and Purgatory, and one of the initial gateways into it, I was thinking about the Terrace of Pride and Dante's discourse on fame and art, and that's when a lot of things started pointing me there. And then as I delved more into it, I fleshed out the rest of it. But as we've been talking about performance art and PR and all of that stuff, I think that all is it ethical to trick people. Do the ends justify the means? Having these concurrent narratives that have contradictions and juxtapositions of different truths, different selves, different perspectives on the truth. I think this is all very nicely paralleled in Dante. So I was originally gonna go sequentially through the Purgatory Mountain, but I think since we're talking a lot about artifice and contradictions and how culpable or how ethical it is to deliberately mislead people for whatever reason, I'm gonna start in the middle with Pride, since it nicely sort of dovetails with the previous discussion on alchemy, particularly this question from May about alchemy through Dante and alchemy in Inferno, the alchemists being in the circle of fraud in the Inferno, and then in general how alchemical the entire Commedia is. So, setting the stage for that, starting off with this delicate visual that she gradually hops on different beats to crack this mirror and also cause lightning. And I have a whole other theory about the lightning imagery that I need to finish getting my brain together on. But essentially it's what's artificial and what's real. It's basically that. Because if you think about light, real light, again in Dante being God being this golden light, which is in a lot of traditions too, versus manufactured lighting. I think that is a big rabbit hole to go down, and the artificial harnessing of energy versus pure unfettered energy, going back to that conduit stuff that is in the Karma music video, and then a lot of other stuff too, but not gonna get into that. And then of course mirrors, in the Delicate music video she's shown as having she disappears into the mirror, much like she does in the yellow dress during the Lover visual in the tour, and has this whole other life where she's much freer to be herself and goofy, and also using 1920s choreography. But we're not gonna go into that. So many rabbit holes. So this is of course I can do it with the Broken Heart rabbit video. I can do it with the Broken Heart lyric video. So I can show you lies, and then she looks up, breaking the fourth wall, which is, if you don't know, in theater there's 3 walls around a stage, and then the audience, actors looking at the audience is the 4th wall. So when you break the 4th wall, it's we are in a play, someone in the, someone acknowledging the audience. Crucial evidence. I didn't imagine the whole thing. Screaming. Cry a lot, but I'm so productive. Anyway. Another question about Dante is, did he imagine the whole thing? Did he imagine the whole Commedia? Was he having some kind of crazy experiences? Spiritual experiences of different dimensions, different states of consciousness, which I kind of believe, since I'm really interested in that stuff, and I don't think you need to be on crazy drugs to have different experiences of different realms or different states of consciousness. Was he in sort of like this weird sort of liminal dream sequency space through the power of his creativity? Also, people think he was epileptic, which can predispose the brain to different perceptions of reality. And I think they've, correct? I think, they've, I'm not have to defer to neuroscientists on this. But I think that they, have associated epilepsy with, ecstatic visions, which was like a big deal in the Renaissance, especially the medieval period and the Renaissance especially. And, even obviously people are having them now, but people were very into this like rapture, saying, oh, I had this experience when I was like raptured by God. And there are several of those in Dante specifically. There's one in Purgatory, which I will talk about later. But, there's this whole idea like, did he really have this experience? Did he really go through hell and heaven, through hell, purgatory, and heaven? Did he completely make it up? Did he have a dream? But the thing is that he does a lot while he's writing it to convince you that it's real. He makes you deliberately forget that he's narrating it, then he's writing it, and constructing this vision, regardless of if he had the experience or not. He's deliberately saying, oh, he puts you in it in a way, and there's this big phrase called truth that has the face of a lie. This is the big theme in the entire Commedia of him, the different ways that he's constructing the reality and tricking you and breaking the fourth wall, but then also completely immersing you in it and making you feel like you're completely there and it's completely true, and he's just writing it and you're just like watching it. And he was, at the end he reveals that he went all the way through purgatory. He went all the way through paradise, and let me find that. I have that picture actually. Where is that? No. He went all the way through paradise, and he was charged by God to write it, basically. He says, go back and write what you experienced so that it can be, seen by everyone. Where was that? I'm going to be annoyed now that I can't find that. Nope. Okay, well, whatever. I'll get to it eventually. It's an art. And this is interesting, too, because it's, like, black and white. I just noticed that. Like, TBD. It's an art. The light up, obviously the video is black and white, but the light up of the screen. So, okay. Now we're going to go... Well, I guess I can start here. Truth has the face of a lie. So, why is this already 8 minutes? Oh my god. Inferno. Basically, that Professor Giuseppe Manzotta has this idea, says in his lectures, which are free on YouTube, that there's like a parallel between every book. Like, there's, about 33 cantos in each. And then, each of them has a letter. And then each canto has some sort of between each three parts has a through line. So, I'm going to be talking about cantos 10 and their through line.